Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? Denise back again. It is the beginning of the year, and so today I want to talk about nutrition. So I was out with a friend yesterday, and as per usual, it's the beginning of the year, it's January. People are talking about their diets, they're talking about their weight, they're talking about what they're eating, what they're drinking, what they're gonna do, right? And even myself, I'm like, okay, I've kind of been a slacker here for the last few months. My pants, you know, I'm stretching the seams. So when we get to that point, we start thinking about all the things we have to do, all the things we need to do. And I want to bring a little bit of sanity into it, right? Um, this is my regular struggle, whenever I find my seams are being stretched tight, right? The immediate thought is, oh my God, I got to cut all of the sweets. I have to walk all of the days. I have to start running again. I have to do all the cardio. I have to do all the things, like all the things that are so awful. Now, I don't know about you, but then what happens in my life? I have to cut the sugar. I have to do this. I have to, da, 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 da. It's, whew, I'm just going to take a week or just today, just one more day. I'm going to eat all the things I want to. Maybe it's I have to clean out the fridge. Not usually in my house. We don't have a lot of extra stuff in our fridge, right? But maybe it's I just want one more salted caramel coffee monster. Maybe it's, oh, just one more bowl of ice cream tonight. Maybe it's I don't have any protein in the house. Whatever it is, right? And that one day turns into two, turns into three, turns into a week, turns into a month, right? Where I never quite get started on that. I'd like to lose a few pounds so my pants aren't so tight. Has that happened to you? So a few years ago, I put together some stuff. And what I have found very helpful is instead of focusing on all of the things that we need to take out of what we are eating, all the things we need to quit, all the things we need to stop, what can we add in to be healthier without deprivation, without depriving ourselves of that bowl of ice cream or that monster or whatever your indulgent pleasure is? What can we add in without worrying about taking that away from you, right? Because as soon as we start talking about taking away, we start feeling deprived. Like it's a basic human instinct. You have to take away this. I'm going to take away that. I'm going to take away that. And then you start feeling like this naughty little schoolgirl. All the things are getting taken away. And then you don't start. And then pretty soon we're 6 months down the road, or we're staring down summer or bikini season, vacation season, whatever it is that, sets off your trigger alarms, right? And you're like, man, I've actually gained 20 pounds. And here I thought I would be down 20 pounds by now, right? Like it's a thing. It's a real psychological thing. So what if? So over the next couple podcasts here, I'm going to talk a lot about nutrition and being over 40 and what we can do to get started. So I felt it very important to start with what are the things we can add. And these are things that don't depend on where you are in your cycle or even if you are cycling, right? This is just straight up, what can we add to start being healthier now without feeling deprived? So whatever you're indulgent. Okay, side note on this indulgent thing. I was talking to another trainer and she asked me what my guilty pleasure was. And I thought, you know what? I don't like that wording, guilty pleasure. What is my indulgent pleasure? But I don't feel guilty about it. Must be how old I am. Anyway, so what is your indulgent pleasure? For me, we're going to go with that bowl of ice cream tonight. Love it. Just got a new pint of coffee ice cream. I don't want to give that up. I don't want to. My husband won't eat it. I'll go for blah. Anyway. So instead of worrying about giving that up, what can I add in and make high on the important list without giving up the ice cream? So first and foremost, what I encourage my clients to do for the first week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. What I'd really like you to think about focusing on is adding in protein. Okay? Especially for perimenopausal and menopausal women and beyond. The answer is 125 to 150 grams of protein every single day. Now, don't freak out. Yes, it is kind of a big number. It is above average for what women usually eat because women usually start cutting out meat. As we get older, our body cannot process the protein as efficiently. So in order to get the amount of protein into the system that we need to be getting 125 to 150 grams of protein every single day. Okay. Now, if you are a very muscular woman, the answer could be bigger. It is 1 gram of protein per pound of lean mass. There's lots of lean mass measuring gadgets out there now. Go get yourself tested if you're unsure. If you don't want to do it, 125, 150 grams of protein. Okay. Now, what might that look like? A 5-ounce steak is 35 grams of protein. A 5-ounce chicken breast is 25, I think. A can of tuna is 20 to 22 grams of protein. So what do I do? What do I do? Just as an example, you do what you would like, but this is what it looks like for me in a day. I get up very early, so I have a protein shake, and it's a 30-gram protein shake, right? For my next meal, I have a hunk of meat and some vegetables, right? So it could be a hunk of chicken, a hunk of pork, a hunk of beef, whatever it is, right? For me, it is last night's leftovers. So right there's about 30 grams of protein. So now I'm up to 60 already in 2 meals, right? Now my official lunch, right? I have my snack in the morning because I get up very early. My official lunch is a huge hunk of vegetables, whether that's a stir fry or a salad, depends on if I'm home or not, with a big hunk of meat. Again, that could be a hunk from last night's leftovers, right? And then for supper, obviously my husband makes some meat because I use the leftovers, right? So we've got 60 in the first 2 meals, a hunk of meat is another 30, and another, so that's 90, another hunk of meat is 120. If I find I am falling below, I might add a small protein shake at bedtime to give my muscles something to grow on, right? Muscles, something to grow on. Now, why add protein? First of all, because your body needs it. And if we're going to exercise, or even if we're not, we need protein because this is important, even if you do not exercise. After the age of about 30, if you are not actively adding muscle to your frame, you are actively losing muscle. And for every 10 years, every decade after 30, you are losing 5-ish pounds of muscle per decade. Okay? By the time you're 60, that's a lot. You're all wasting. You got all this extra skin because you didn't fill it up with muscle. So we need to be adding protein, or at least protecting the muscle that we have. Okay? Protein is super duper important. Now, you can continue to have your indulgent pleasure. Continue to have your ice cream. Continue to have your coffee. Continue to have all of the other things. Okay? Get back to why in a little bit. Another thing, and you do it in whatever order makes sense to you, but I personally really push my clients toward adding protein first. And if that's all you want to worry about for the first week or so, that's all you need to worry about. The second thing I have them add is vegetables, because I'm 90% certain that you are not eating vegetables at every single meal. I'm not even eating vegetables at every single meal. Like those shakes, I'm not eating vegetables with that. I'm guzzling a shake and done with it, right? But we want to add fiber to our day. Helps keep us regular, helps keeping hormones that are doing all kinds of weird things, helps keep them moving through so they're not getting recycled, right? So you need to eat some vegetables. Yes, preferably vegetables, but fruits are fine. Just add them, right? Third thing I have people add is water, right? So how I encourage my clients, because I get a lot of, I don't like the taste of water, I just don't drink any water, whatever. You can drink whatever you want, but every other beverage is water before you can get to the next one. So if you drink 5 cups of coffee, you don't get to drink 5 cups of coffee in a row. You drink 5 cups of coffee and 5 cups of water, right? So it's coffee, water, etc., right? same size. So if it's a 24-ounce coffee, it's a 24-ounce water. If it's a 5-ounce coffee, it's a 5-ounce water. Okay. And that's how I alternate, whether it's coffee, whether it's soda, whether it's Monster, whatever your beverage is, you alternate that with water, same size water. By doing those 3 things, I can guarantee that you will, by default, naturally quit eating some of the things that are less helpful to losing weight, right? Because if you add vegetables, a lot of times, okay, again, talking to my friend yesterday, she's like, I'm single, I don't really like to cook for one. But when I don't eat meals, I find myself snacking all day throughout the day. I'm at the refrigerator all the time. I'm snacking. And of course, I'm like, because you're not getting protein, right? If you are not getting your basic needs met, the protein, the fiber, your body's still hungry and it's still saying, give me food, give me food, give me food, until it gets those nutritional needs met. Okay. So first and foremost, you're going to have, by adding protein, you're not going to be as hungry in between meals. You'll actually be like, man, I didn't get the protein, but I didn't hardly eat anything today. I only ate 3 times today and I didn't even eat any snacks. Okay. By adding the vegetables, a lot of times people substitute, they have crackers. They'll have crackers or chips or pretzels or whatever. Nothing wrong with those. Not a lot of fiber though, right? So when you're eating protein and the vegetables, you don't really have room for the crackers or the chips or the snacks or whatever, right? Because you're getting your nutritional needs met. Okay. And then twofold things happen when you start alternating the water, right? One, you get really stuck on alternating the water and you quit drinking anything because you're peeing so much. Or 2, you start actually enjoying the water, feeling maybe less thirsty because you're actually getting the water and taking it in. Those 3 things alone are going to help you lose weight because, like I said, things are naturally going to fall away. Like I might get to the end of my night and go, oh, I didn't have my ice cream. I'm going to bed now. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not hungry, right? Because you're getting your nutritional needs met. So I would encourage you, before you start cutting, before you say, no more crackers, no more ice cream, you haven't told yourself what you're going to have instead. So instead of like, okay, I'm going to have hamburger instead of ice cream. Like seriously, when you sit down with that bowl of ice cream, are you thinking, oh, I want hamburger? No. But if you've included some hamburger at all of your meals, hamburger, chicken, whatever, pork, whatever, meat, protein, at every meal before that, you're just not going to be craving the ice cream or whatever it is. Okay. So I would love to hear how it goes for you. Like drop it in the comments, shoot me an email, whatever. I want to know how it goes. Or do you only add 1? Did you add all 3? What did you do? And how are you feeling? And then on the next podcast, we are going to talk about some of the other things that you can start being more specific with, start tracking. What are some of the things that you could take out, as you're feeling better? But right now, don't worry about taking anything off. Just start adding. Just start adding and see how your mindset changes around losing weight and having to deprive yourself. Have a fantastic week, and I will chat with you soon.